Hi everybody, welcome back to Small Caliber Arms Review. I'm Richard. Today we're going to be taking a look at another product from Savage. Now I have always been a fan of Savage firearms, and especially the smaller caliber ones, thus the name Small Caliber Arms Review. But today we have one of the A-Series rifles, and the A-Series has been out for a little while. They come out with the A17WSM, and then they come out with the A22 Magnum. Now they've come out with the A17WSM. Now, if you're not familiar with the WSM, it is a 27 caliber case, and this case is made from industrial powder loads, powder actuated tools, the kind that actually drive nails into concrete and steel and everything. They're just like a small firearm, except the charge and the projectile are separated, and you'll put a nail in the end of it, cock it, put it up against the steel or the concrete or wherever you're putting the nail in, pull the trigger, and it actually forces that nail into the concrete. So they've got a lot of pressure behind them. And the 27 caliber powder actuated tools have been around for a long time. So Hornady hooked up with I can't even remember who makes these cartridges anymore. Several different ones make them now. Winchester has some. I have some American Eagle, Winchester Super Magnums, but the case is a marriage between a actual bullet, 17 caliber bullet, and the 27 caliber projectiles. Now this is a new offering from Savage. They have the HMR, now they have the WSM, but this one is a semi-auto, and that's something that has not been around very long in the rimfire ones. 22 rimfire has been around forever in semi-auto, but just here recently, Savage and a couple other manufacturers have been having success with the rimfire in the smaller calibers but larger bullets. And this is a rotary style magazine, and I do have a WSM, 17 WSM, that I've had for a long time. And it is the Savage B-Mag, this being the A-Series. It's a new one. So it's a rotary style magazine. This is the one from my B-Mag, this is the one from the A17, and they should interchange. Let's make sure this fits in there. Yeah, they do interchange. That's a nice thing about it. I think they do anyways. Let me make sure that's staying in there. There we go. Yes, they do interchange. Now I do have the bolt locked open right now, and I do have rounds in this magazine, so I'm not going to close it on it. It is a little harder to get out of there, that's for sure. There we go, got it out there. On the A-Series magazine, they do have a little modification to the magazine there, which should make it a little easier to get out. Yeah, the handle is a little more pronounced on there. Now, the other magazine from the bolt action one, the B-Mag, should work fine in there. It's just not as convenient. They've made improvements over the years. The B-Mag has been out for quite a while. I think I've had mine for about 10 years or somewhere around there. But anyways, just like the other A-Series, the A22 and the A17, takedown on this one is not too difficult. You will need one tool, and that will be a punch. Something like this is an 1/8 inch brass punch. I would recommend using brass or plastic or something. You got this little button right in the back here, and you need to push that in just a little bit. Let your bolt loose. Make sure there is no ammo in the gun. There is not. Magazine's empty, chamber's empty. We'll go ahead and release the bolt forward. That takes some of the tension off this little pin in the back here, and we can take and push that in a little bit, not too far. And this I found is a little more difficult on this one. You got to lift this cover up here. Now this is plastic, but there is metal inside it, so it's not too flimsy, that's for sure. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to take the recoil spring, and we're going to push it in a little bit and pick it up, and then we can slide the bolt back, pull this out. Now you'll see this little pin right here goes in a hole underneath there where it was mounted. That's why you got to push it in and then lift it up and pull it back out of there. We'll get that out of the way. We can go ahead and pull the charging handle back, which gets the bolt back. We can pull the charging handle out, and then we can take the bolt. You're going to have to kind of force it back a little bit because the hammer sticks up just a hair, so you're going to want to get that pushed back, and then you can pull the bolt out of it. It's a flat bolt, and there's a little piece right here. This is the key to the whole thing. Your charging handle goes in here. When it's forward, that little piece right there is the key to why the Magnum rimfire rounds are able to work in a semi-auto. There's so much powder in there, so much more than there is in a direct blowback 22 long rifle, that it needs to be delayed a little bit so that powder has time to push that projectile out and allow for more complete burn of the powder. Otherwise, you're just wasting a lot of powder if you're doing a direct blowback. And if it was direct blowback for the Magnum rounds, the spring, the recoil spring in there would have to have so much tension on it that it might not be able to overcome it reliably. So they put this delay mechanism in there so that it can do what it's supposed to do and, you know, be a nice, reliable gun. Anyways, now this one is factory new, factory fresh to me. I got to get it cleaned up because there are some, you know, they put shipping oil on there or preservation oil and stuff, and that's not the best gun lubricant for use. And you never know if there's anything inside the barrel, any, you know, little metal chips or anything. So the first thing we want to do is, at a minimum, run you a bore snake through the bore. Now I've got one of these bore snakes. This is a 17 caliber bore snake, little tiny thin cord on it and a little tiny weight, just enough to get it to go through there and do its thing. So turn it up and we'll go ahead and drop this right down in the bore there. Like I said, at a minimum you want to do this. And we'll get the cord pulled out the other end. Now I always worry about these 17 caliber ones because it takes a lot of force to get that through there, and I'm always worried that that cord's going to break, but it is very strong cord. Once you get it through there, it'll pull the rest of the way. And if you're not familiar with the bore snake, they are, it's a tubular knitted cord that's on here, and in the beginning of it, they have wire brushes embedded in here. And they're a little pokey there, but that'll scrape any of the loose carbon and stuff out of there. And then the rest of it, they call it the floss, will just kind of wipe everything down. You can spray a little bit of ram oil or something in there, whatever your favorite CLP is, get it cleaned out, and then, you know, get it out on the range. Now there's a few things I'm going to do here off camera because I do need to mount a scope on here because it has no open sights on it. It does come with scope mounts on the top of it there. And I took this one off another rifle and I'm going to get it mounted on here. I'm not going to show you that process because YouTube frowns upon us showing you how to mount a scope, even though in a case like this it makes it safer because right now you have no way to aim your bullet at your intended target, but they don't want me to show you how to mount a scope on a firearm. As silly as it may be, I'm going to skip that part. We'll get it all cleaned up and everything, then we'll get it out in the range. Okay, we're up here on the range with the 17WSM from Savage with the laminated wood stock on it. I've got a couple different boxes of 17WSM ammo here. I've got some Winchester and I've got some American Eagle. These are both rounds that I fired in the B mag, so they work. I know they're good rounds, they're good accurate rounds, because like I said, there has been a few groundhogs dispatched with the B mag. Pretty cool looking little round there, and it's a rotary style magazine, so we're going to push it kind of in on that first one and over to the side, then push it back, and then put the rest of them right in there and pushing it over to the side. All right, 8 rounds is all it holds, so that's all we're going to put in there. And we just go ahead and push it up in there and click it into place. We'll get these put away, get the target set up there at 100 yards, and then we will do a little sighting in, and then we'll see how it functions too, because that's the thing I'm wondering about. Now, one of the things I did notice with this firearm, let me take the magazine out, is pulling back on the charging handle, sometimes it would get hung up, and that kind of seemed odd to me. It didn't do it at one time there, but it does do it from time to time. Okay, I've got the target set up there. I do not have a camera on it right now because I got to sight it in first to see if I'm even close, and I could be so far off that I shoot my camera, so I don't want to do that. Anyways, it's in. We'll go ahead and charge it up. We got one in the chamber. Take it off safe and give it a try. All right, I do not see where that one hit. Now this is a semi-auto. I should have another one chambered in there right now. We'll give it another try. We'll do one more, then I'll go up and look at the target. Okay, there's 3 shots. We'll go ahead and put it back on safe and go up there and take a peek at it. All right, so there's my target, not a single hole in that piece of paper. But if I go over here and I look to the left of the target, I did find some impacts in the ground. A little hard to see, but they are right down in here. So I know about where it's hitting, and that is considerably far to the left. So I got a lot of adjustment to do. What I probably should do is sight it in at 50 yards, and that might get me a little bit closer. All right, I dug one of my old targets out of the trash there and stuck it up there at the 50-yard one. So I'm going to see if I can get any closer with it. Gotta lower this a little bit. Now, the nice thing about this scope is that it does have parallax adjustment on it. Unfortunately, it's objective focus. And it is pretty close to what it says on the markings on there. I did adjust my windage to the right like 32 clicks, which would have made it about 8 inches. And I'm probably farther off than that. All right, should be ready to go again. All right, there's 6 rounds. I should have 2 more left in there. I can't see anything through the scope. So I'm gonna go up there and take another peek at it. All right, still was not on paper there at 50 yards. So I did see the impacts in the dirt, and I still needed to go more to the right again. I got 2 more rounds in there. Hopefully I can get them on paper and do a little more adjusting. All right, it did fire all 8 rounds with no issues. Like I said, sometimes it would hang up a little bit when I was racking the bolt, but it doesn't seem to be doing that now, and it fired just fine. Now, I still didn't get on paper, but it looks to me like it's those 2 holes right there. I did go up there and look in the dirt where I had the impacts before, and they did move over to the right. So I think I'm right there, so we got to take it over at least a foot to get it back on the paper. Okay, so the scope is 1/4 inch clicks at 100, so that means it's 1/8 inch at 50. So I need to go over about a foot. How many eighths is in a foot? So it's 8 times 12. That's a whole lot of clicks. All right, we'll give that a try. I do got to get a few more rounds loaded up in here. We're going to stick with the Winchesters again. Now, it does not have last round hold open, so the bolt did not stay back. We'll get this one popped in there, get the ears back in, and hopefully I'm on paper this time. But like I said, the main thing I wanted to check was, is it reliable with it being a semi-auto rimfire and in such a big round, but you know, smaller caliber anyways. All right, I'm actually seeing them now. They are, I probably went about an inch farther than I should have. And looks like the elevation is probably about 1.5 inches high. So I want to go down. That should give me an inch there. Again, I'm at 50 yards. And back to the left. And we'll try it again. All right, that's looking pretty good. 6 rounds again, no issues with it. We'll go ahead and put it on safe, and we'll go take a peek at that. Again, that is the 50-yard target, so we'll stretch it out to 100 here in a minute. It is a little breezy out here. Probably not enough to affect these rounds, though. Not traveling 3,000 feet per second and only going 50 yards. The wind doesn't have much time to affect the round. Okay, like I said, the old dirty target I had dug out of the trash can. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are my first 3. Another little adjustment on it got me those 3 right there. And that's a pretty good little group right there. But we're going to go ahead and get the camera set up on the 100-yard up there and give it a try. All right, right now the safety is on. There is 1 in the chamber. I should have, let's see, 2 more rounds left in here. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 more in there. That'll give me 5 rounds, and we're going to take 5 shots at the 100-yard target up there, and hopefully everything is good now. I got my camera set up there. I want to make sure I don't shoot that thing. I do not see that one. We'll give it another try. I think I see it. I guess I miscounted there because I did not get one to go off there. The magazine is empty, and so is the chamber. There is a bolt hold open on the bottom of this, right in front of the trigger. You can pull the bolt back up, push it up, and it'll hold it open. I'm going to go up there and take a closer peek at it because I really only see 2 of the holes there for that 4 rounds that I just fired. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I did not see that one. I didn't start seeing them until I got that one and that one in there. So those 2 I did not see. So that may have been my first one there. And you can see the paper moving around a little bit. There is a little bit of a breeze there. But right now it just needs a little bit of, I guess, dialing in to get it exactly where it needs to be. And then it should be a good, accurate gun. The B-Mag is great for accuracy. This one is probably great too, but like I said, the main thing I wanted to look at was, is it reliable? Because that's always been the thing that's plagued the Magnum semi-auto rimfire rounds, is reliability. I'll play with it a little bit more and see what I get. All right, I've loaded 5 more rounds in the magazine here. We'll go ahead and get it clicked up there in place. Get the eyes and ears on, and then we'll give it a shot at, let's say the lower left target and see what we get. All right, eyes and ears, and I'm going to concentrate a little bit. All right, that was not the greatest for accuracy. That first round was up there pretty high. The second one wasn't a whole lot better. The other 3, I've kind of stacked them right on top of each other. So is that a flyer? Is it the ammo? Is it the scope? Is it the rifle? I doubt if it's the rifle. Like I said, my B-Mag shoots fantastic. Let's do 5 more at that same target while I've still got everything running, set up. Now we're on a warm barrel, and there's 5 more rounds. Thought that was only 4. Apparently, it was only 4. Did have a light hit there. It doesn't really look light. Let's put it in, see if we can get it to go off. Alright, it went off that time. Like I said, it didn't really look like a light hit. It just didn't go off that time. Now this ammo, I've had this for a long time. Oh, it's at least 10 years old, as long as I've had my B mag. So it has been around. But anyways, the whole point of this video was to see if a semi-automatic in the 17 Winchester Super Magnum would be a reliable firearm, and I believe it is. I really do. Need a little bit of tweaking, maybe a little bit of breaking in to get it to be more accurate. Sometimes the barrel needs a little bit of breaking in, honing from firing the rounds through it to get it where it needs to be. I'm not trying to make any excuses for it or anything. I do like the 17 Winchester Super Magnum rounds. They 3,000 feet per second. It is a, let's see, this is a 20 grain polymer tip bullet for varmint, coyote, and stuff like that. This one, same thing, 17 Winchester Super Magnum, 20 grain tipped varmint, also at 3,000 feet per second. Very flat shooting too. Let's see, at the muzzles 3,000. If you sight it in 150 yards is a 2/10 of an inch drop, and 150 yards is 1.2 inch drop. So it does lose a lot as it gets farther out there. But it's still a whistling fast, screaming fast round. Anyways, thanks for taking a look at the Savage A series in the 17 Winchester Super Magnum. Very good looking rifle. One of the things you cannot do with it is bore sight it, where you look all the way through the bore and then line your sight up with it. I don't know if they make a laser bore sighting cartridge for it. For 17 Winchester Super Magnum, but that might be a little bit easier, or just walk it in like I did. You know, it takes a little more time. You're going to fire a few more rounds in it and everything, but it just gives you an excuse to shoot more ammo. Anyways, thanks for watching Small Caliber Arms Review. If you could, reach over here and hit this button to check out some of my other videos, and hit this little round one up here at the top to subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching. You know what? Let's do 8 rounds semi-rapid fire on the steel target up there. Yeah, did just fine, even kinda rapid fire.